All right, we rolling. Happy Monday, everybody. December 1st is the day, all right? I understand that this is also Cyber Monday, and probably the last thing you want is another email, so sorry about that. But good news, I got to keep this as short as I possibly can. I know I say that every time, but I do have to go get my kid, and yeah, so there's that. First thing, something that I kind of want to harp on leaning into the new year. And it's this idea that consistency is the single most important thing you can do, especially when it comes to your fitness training. So when you're looking at your overall health, consistency is number one. You know, as I've matured over the years, both mentally, hopefully, and physically, but also as a coach, you know, you've come to realize that there are many great ways to train. I happen to truly enjoy the way we train for long-term health here at Double Edge Fitness, using CrossFit methodology combined with our own flavor to do our general physical preparedness. But the reason I bring that up is the most successful plan for anybody is going to be the plan that you can be the most consistent with. Working out for 1 month a year or 1 day a week. You know, we're coming into motivation season, January 1st, where everybody likes to grip and rip for, 3 to 6 weeks and then just start over again the next year. I can't stand that stuff. And all of you that probably watch this video, this isn't an issue for you, right? The people that this is an issue for probably don't watch the video or listen to the podcast or read the newsletter. It is what it is. But I'm throwing it out there so maybe if you have that special, that loved one in your life that needs a little boost in the health department, just remind them. Consistency is the most important thing. It's not intensity. It's not high volume. There's a time and place for that in your fitness journey, but numero uno is getting up and doing something darn near every single day of your life. Moving with intention, all right? Training intentionally. You know, when you follow our program, you are getting intentional training, okay? If you're following the program. So that's why we take care of all that for you. All you got to do is show up and do what the coach says for an hour. Repeat that 3 to 5 days per week, all year long, and you're doing pretty darn good. You know, I watch it year after year. That group of folks, crush it. Crush it. And it's consistency. It's consistency. It's consistency. When you take 4 weeks off, depending on how old you are, it might be 3 months to get back. 6 months. You know, missing training time is huge. Now, got some knowledge for you here. It's the age rate of decline that affects us all. Every single one of us are aging every single second of every single day. Okay, we're getting older. And then we die. I don't know if that's a surprise to any of you, but it wasn't really to me. So that's just how it works. So once we hit about age 30, that decline in our fitness starts really, really taking place. Okay? Kind of peak in your 20s, right? You're in growth mode. Like kids grow without their muscles, their bodies, everything just grows. It just grows. But then you get in your teenage years, early 20s, everything starts to peak. And then about 30 is when it all kind of starts to level off and fall down. And we get an age rate of decline no matter what. Okay, it affects us all. So, I want you guys to understand that once you hit 30 years old, the sedentary person is looking at approximately 3 up to maybe 8% per decade decline in their skeletal muscle mass and fitness, okay? In their overall skeletal structure, you're looking at that decline, that amount. So that's approximately 0.8 to 1% per year starting at age 30 if you're sedentary. Once you hit 60, this dramatically increases if you're sedentary. The percentage doubles. Okay, so the only way to offset this is through intentional, consistent strength training and cardiovascular work. Okay, our VO2 max is the same. It's going to depreciate over time. Our skeletal muscle is going to depreciate over time. So if you're over age 30, you need to be taking this shit seriously. You need to be consistent with your training. You need to be purposeful with your training. You need to pick heavy things up. You need to press heavy things. You need to do good quality body weight strength and conditioning exercise. You need to do good conditioning intervals. You need to do good training. The beauty is, those of you that listen to this are already bought in. All right, you're already bought in, and you're doing it. You're doing it, and 3 to 5 days per week. You know, I'm a big fan of moving every day, but 3 to 5 intentional, high-quality training days per week not only can stem off this decline that affects us all, even me, you can also reverse it up to a certain point, right? There is a ceiling on that. I've seen many people in their 40s and 50s be a hell of a lot fitter version of their 20-year-old self, but their 20-year-old self wasn't their full genetic potential at 20s. So chances are, if you're hitting your full genetic potential training-wise in your 20s, you're a professional athlete, high-level college athlete, and you were trained, pushed to those true genetic potentials that you have. Now, if that wasn't you, there's a good chance, even in your 40s, you can be a completely dominant, better self than you were in your 20s, right? So 2 things there. You need to, if you were the pro athlete or the super high-level college athlete in your 20s and you're in your 40s now, you need to stop trying to get back to that, because you're never going to. But that doesn't mean you can't be the best version of yourself, and you already have a huge foundation of genetic material to build upon to still be awesome. Phenomenal conditioning, fitness in your 40s and 50s, even if you let it go to shit in your 30s, right? But you might not get back to those 20s, right? Not many of us. Only if you were a real pile in your 20s are you probably going to see a lot better version of yourself in your 40s and 50s, right? So what I'm babbling about there is we can always do better, all right? We can always keep improving. We can always keep building. And the importance of lifting weights and eating protein, doing good cardiovascular conditioning is so dramatically more important every decade past 30 that there's literally nothing else you should be worrying about when it comes to your overall health if that's not your primary thing to get dialed in. That should be number 1, layered in with high quality nutrition, whole foods, and sleep. There's an argument for which one goes first. I get it. But the only way to stem off this age rate of decline is through quality training. Consistency. That's why at 41, getting hurt is something I really try to avoid. Train as smart as I possibly can. Doesn't mean I'm not an idiot sometimes. But preventing injuries, because I don't want to miss training. I don't want to be set back, because it's just that much harder. When I take intentional days off or even a week off, it's very intentional training up to that for recovery, but I'm still moving. God, I can go on forever about this. I said I was going to keep it short, but it's damn important, and it's going to be a theme. We need this as a theme in our lives and those around us going into the new year. Consistency, consistency, consistency. I look at a handful of folks that had these goals at the beginning of last year. A couple of them I chatted with. How's those goals coming? Oh, I went to shit in fucking March. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. All right? Let's stick to a plan. Let's come up with a plan. Be consistent. All right? That's what I'm asking for you. That's your educational piece today. Next, gym stuff. Sugar WOD, as I said last week, Build Welded Warrior, and now Sweat are all in the same track. Right? Tuesday, Thursday, the second workout has been named Sweat. Member brought up the idea to us. I like it. It does away with lean forever so that we can get rid of that connotation that that's the workout you need to do to be lean. Not true. All the training is good to get lean, but getting lean is done by what goes in your mouth and being consistent with your training all the time. Right? We have people that like the old school lean style workouts. We're reprogramming those back, and it's now called Sweat. So after all this shit show of HyROX and lean, Build Welded Warrior, staple in the gym, numero uno, that is the place that I live for me personally. But we know people like them sweat workouts, and that's what we're going to give them. We're going to give the people sweat workouts. Remember, these are full body workouts that are more of a muscular conditioning kind of workout, right? It's not a strength training. Okay, it's muscular endurance and general physical work capacity. All right, that's what these workouts are. It's not progressively overload. It's not a lot of complex weightlifting and high skill gymnastics and all that stuff. It's simple, effective, sweaty, metabolic conditioning. That's what it is, right? So it's called Sweat. Tuesday, Thursday, same operation as always. It's just not called HyROX because at the end of the day, what we were trying to do there, it wasn't really HyROX training and it wasn't really the old school leans. It's like we were satisfying nobody and there was no purpose to it. And I can't stand training without purpose. So Sweat has its purpose, has its place. It's a full body workout. That's what it is. Simple, non-complex, full body, 40, 50 minutes, just moving, sweating, getting good metabolic conditioning in, muscular endurance. That's what's happening there. HyROX, it's on its own track, right? I have a group, 19 of us, going to Vegas, compete in HyROX. HyROX training. We are a HyROX training facility. And right now, I'm pretty happy with my base level of fitness going into training for this. And that was done in the Build Welded Warrior program, right? So getting into HyROX and learning about it, understanding it, the event, this is how our gym is going to train for it. We're going to build general physical preparedness year-round doing our group class. Our normal Build Welded Warrior CrossFit training is the base of our fitness. The HyROX track in Sugar WOD is mostly running, intervals, and endurance training. Running. 50+% of the event is running. So it is vital that we run a hell of a lot more to do one of these events than what we do in group class. All right. So I have running intervals programmed in there. I have non-running intervals, just zone 2 aerobic capacity work programmed in there. This is all meant to be done solo. I will never, ever run a running class. Won't coach it. It won't happen inside the gym. There's just never was, never will be enough interest in this kind of training to run as a class. So if you're doing HyROX, one, you need to be in my WhatsApp group. Okay, join it. There's a link in this email somewhere. That's where I'm coaching and helping the people that are going to HyROX train for this and prepare for it and understand what we're doing to achieve it. All right? That's simple. So HyROX workouts, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. It wasn't intentional. It was like a mix mash of old lean workouts with maybe a little training for HyROX. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. It's not quality training. And to prepare for a HyROX event, what we need is good strength and conditioning, which we get in the Build Welded Warrior program, with running and running intervals layered in on top of it. All right. I happen to switch that for me personally. I'm focusing more on running right now because that's the bigger hole in my equation for this event. So I'm putting more intention into running and a little less on the strength side for the next 10 weeks while I train for this event. So if you have questions on HyROX events, I'm in it. I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a great time. And it is something that I look forward to building as part of the community where we train for a couple of these a year. So hit me up, join the group chat, and happy to have that conversation. But the track in Sugar Wad is meant to be, those are solo operated workouts, or you and your partner or whatever. So like today, I did my running intervals this morning. My partner JP just did his now. We both did group class, and that's our training for the day. All right. So, questions on HyROX, hit me up. I'm the HyROX guy right now. I'm the self-appointed coach of HyROX. Again, sweat is the new name of lean, and we're going to be, that's all I wanted. That's all I ever wanted was to get rid of the name lean. I don't mind the workouts. It's the name. It drove me nuts. All right, enough of that. Online community updates. 23 people joined the Facebook group, killing it. No idea what I'm going to put in there, if it's even worth the damn time. We'll see. So I'm trying to figure out what to use that for. WhatsApp group's been good for the HyROX stuff and keeping everybody communicated on training and answering questions. It's been a very effective tool, been a very positive tool. As far as the whole gym, I mean, you guys can go join it. I don't know how much... I need a lot of you to join it to make it purposeful. So I'm going to keep using it for HyROX and the gym and see what's up with WhatsApp after a year. Feel me? But it has been a great tool for the group that's going to Vegas, and I will keep using it for things like that. It's been a very effective tool. Do polls in, post workouts, thoughts, need to know information for the event. It's been a great tool for that. So I'm for sure using it for HyROX training going forward and any other specialty stuff that I do going forward. Here at the gym. All right, time for a little bit of bad news. It's December 1st. Late cancel fees, actual dollars, start getting charged this month. All right. This is pretty much going to affect 5 a.m. class most of the time only. Okay. How I'm doing it, I go at the end of the day, I see which classes hit capacity, and if you late canceled or no-showed one of those classes that hit 25, you're getting dinged. December, remember, it's $10 for a no-show, $5 for a late cancel. Reason why? No-show means you didn't care at all. Late cancel means at least you tried to give up your spot so somebody else could take it. All right? Now, I'm just putting this out there, putting this out in the universe for you guys. If a class starts hitting consistent capacities, and I'm seeing, 4:30, 5:30 p.m. class, like consistently 24, 25, the same rules that go to 5 a.m. are going to go to that class, whether it be 11 a.m., 4:30, 5:30. Those are the three classes that are kind of a little bit there sometimes, to where you guys will have the opportunity, if that's been your staple class, to be able to book it out in advance, reserve your spot, but we will control the chaos. We aren't going to be blowing out the seams on these classes because of being unprepared and not respecting the class cap size. I'm not going to let that happen. So with that, those of you that are trying to game the system, not signing up for classes, you need to sign up for classes. Coaches are going to still be held accountable to make sure their class attendance is accurate. So to help them out, sign up for classes, sign into classes. two different operations taking place there. Signing up means right now I'm signing up for tomorrow's class. Signing into class means I'm checking in on the iPad or on my phone when I get to the gym. It helps the coaches out tremendously. And long term, if a class starts hitting capacity, it allows us to control that and boot people out, new people, whatever, for taking up space. 5 a.m. probably isn't going to have a new person join that class for probably 10 years. I don't know. But all the other classes that are kind of hovering around that, we will protect the space. We're not going to let it turn into 35, 40 people randomly on a Thursday because people didn't want to sign up and plan. I need you all to understand how important it is, not just to me, but to your current co-members in the class. Nobody wants a class of 40 plus people, surprise. So 25 is the cap. Again, right now, no class is consistently hitting that other than the morning 5 a.m. class. So if you get dinged for a late cancel no-show fee, you went to a full class and you got charged. Right? I'm a reasonable person dealing with reasonable people. If you were sick, I don't want your sick ass in the gym. It's reasonable. Not going to charge you for that, but you got to let me know or you're getting charged. Right? So just know we are reasonable people here, but we got to control chaos. And adding this structure controls chaos. Come January, these fees are going to $25 and $15. Okay? Same rule. Classes that are at capacity, you're getting dinged. If it's under capacity, that means we didn't screw anybody out of getting in for a workout. Fine. If a class starts going over capacity and people aren't signing up trying to game the system, we're going to have to apply some pressures to clean that up. All right? So let's make sure we're all on the same page there. Working together for a good quality, effective, efficient workout experience that makes everybody happy. Thumbs up. All right, we got the Christmas party on Saturday the 13th here at the gym. Coming up, 2 weeks. We got Coach Chase, a little going away shindig. We're going to do it here at the gym after his last class on December 19th. So we got that going on. And then last but not least on the list, 2026 annual special will be emailed out next week. All right? Those of you that this is new for, every year we do one sale, one time only. It's a year paid in full. It is the only time to get a discount this big. It's roughly 30% off of our all access membership, which includes unlimited classes and open gym, right? Does not include the recovery room. That's always a separate deal. The price and how many I'm going to sell this year comes out next week. This is usually pretty limited. I sell a certain percentage based on how many people renew from the previous year. This is available one time and one time only. And I know I'm trying to make it sound super exclusive, so you might rush and buy or whatever. It is exclusive. It has been since the day we opened. And it is the only discount this deep into the pricing structure that is ever offered. Ever. So, the people that are on it get the first opportunity to renew it. Once I get them back, I see how many more. Because if I were to sell all of our memberships at this price, well, it's not good for business. So I sell a certain percentage of our total membership base. And once I know those numbers, last year we only sold 10 extras. This year it's going to be less. So, yeah. That'll come out next week. It's first come, first serve once it hits your inbox. And it's that simple. It's paid in full, January 1st for the year. And it's a pretty steep discount. All right. So if I had to guess, it's only going to be a couple this year. I don't know. But like I said, last year we sold only 10. So it's that limited. And yeah, so that'll be coming out next week. All right. That'll be its own email, its own little deal by itself. Yeah. So that's all I got. That's all I got. All right. Might be a record for this. 25 minutes. All right. Gotta get my kid. Love you guys. And let's make this now, starting now into next year, one of our most consistent training years that we've ever had. And just let the results stack up from that. All right. Love you guys. And, well, probably see you next week on the camera anyways. See you in the gym sooner than that, though. All right. Peace.